Hello and welcome to the Mutant Agenda. I'm Cody, and today we're going to be talking about Multiple Man, issue number 1.
What's this, a 2-for-1 sale?
No, it's more like a baker's dozen.
Multiple Man, issue number 1, was written by Matt Rosenberg with art by Andy MacDonald. It was colored by Tamra B. with lettering by Virtual Calligraphy's Travis Lanham. This is it, guys. We are in for it. I'm so excited that this series has started. I've seen Matt Rosenberg on Twitter saying that he was surprised that this has been so anticipated, but he's clearly underestimating us Jamie fans because, boy, are we ready for more Jamie. I know there was a lot of heartbreak during the Death of X event. I know there was for me, at least, when that one disrespectful scene of his death, and I think we've all been pining for more of a resolution, and as soon as we heard he was coming back, I know that I was very excited to see A, how they would handle his revival, but B, the ramifications of that. And wherever Jamie goes, there's always a mess, there's always a good time, so let's get into it. I really enjoyed this issue. I had a lot of fun. I loved how it opened. It opens with The New Mutants, appropriately enough, which is the other miniseries that Matt Rosenberg is writing, which, by the way, I wish was an ongoing, because I love these characters. I have so much love for these characters. I think a lot of people do, and he's really proven to have a voice for them, and he's proven himself to be someone that cares about other mutants outside of maybe the main line of mutants we're used to. And those are usually my favorite too. I mean, of course, I'm a huge Cyclops fan. I love a lot of the main people, but I've always had a fascination with the smaller guys, the underdogs. I'm always team underdog, especially in comics and especially in X-Men, of course, being my favorite. And he opens this issue with his team, the New Mutants, which is Ileana, Boom Boom, Richter, Wolfsbane, and Guido, of course. Now, the issue opens with our team investigating this locked room. It looks like some kind of lab, and they're looking for something, and Ileana says that they need to look through the lab for any indication of what they might have been doing down there. What they find is Jamie, or a Jamie dupe. We don't know yet. But anyway, so they take him, and they bring him to Hank's laboratory, and they put him on the table. They say, Jamie Madrox is dying, and you have to help us. I love this scene so much because they kind of barge in through a teleportation disc, and Beast is singing Oingo Boingo, which is just fantastic. It's hilarious. I love the way they handle this, how they just kind of throw him on the table, and Beast is kind of like, wait, please be careful. Okay, never mind. When they just kind of... Richter is like pushing all these vials and shit off the table. It was just really funny, and it gripped me right away. Like, it hooked me in. I've been waiting so long for this miniseries, and I love that there was pretty much no build-up. They throw us in, and I think we're so ready for that. Now, we do end up finding that this is a Jamie dupe. It's a dupe that concerns himself primarily with science and experimentation, and what he's been working on in that stuffy lab, eating cans of beans, is he's been working on finding a way to make dupes more independent of each other. And he says it's in case of a situation like the one they've had where Jamie Prime has passed away. And so he's been working toward finding some kind of independence for the dupes themselves. And Beast breaks it to him that his chemical makeup is breaking down. He's essentially decomposing, and Beast doesn't know if he can stop it. Now, the dupe seems very intent on making sure that Beast does find a way to stop it, and that his work must proceed. Now, there's some questioning on the X-Men part of why they should even believe this Jamie dupe in this situation, and their hesitance might be valid because we see that this Jamie dupe is actually, he's in some shady dealings. He does knock out Bishop to get his time travel device, and he uses the time travel device to go forward, comes back, checks on Beast, and sees if he, is done making that serum, and then we see who we can assume is Jamie Prime come in and start attacking him, and Jamie Prime calls him a mistake, and the dupe calls Jamie Prime a traitor, and I think there's some hinting there of what is really happening that we'll have to find out. But this confrontation pretty much ends up with Jamie Prime reabsorbing the dupe and saying to Beast that, look, you can't help me make this serum. Don't help me make the serum. And Beast is just kind of at a loss. Like, you insisted that you weren't a time traveler, you told me to make this serum, and now you're going back on it. What's the deal? Throw me a bone here. This sort of leaves us wondering, who is this Jamie dupe? Are his intentions noble? What is he really trying to do with making the dupes more independent of each other? And how is Jamie Prime here, alive, from apparently the future? Maybe he came back with the Jamie dupe through the time portal, I'm not certain. And I love that Rosenberg is really stretching the imagination here, playing with our minds and kind of throwing all this at us. And I feel like knowing him and knowing how his writing is and where he's coming from, I think there'll be massive payoffs as we move forward in this limited series, and this was such a good introduction. But now we got to move into what happens immediately after, when they're all talking to Jamie, like, what's going on? All hell breaks loose. People break into the mansion, and what they look like are these crazy Marvel amalgams of different characters. We have a Deadpool Wolverine, we have a Cable, he looks like techno-organic virus and warlocky business going on, and then we have this kind of, it's Cloak, it's Tyrone, but it's also sort of Sorcerer Supreme. It's this crazy amalgam, and all of these, there's a Hulk, and all of these characters kind of break in, and we find out that they're all Madroxes. They all have aspects of Jamie, but they're also these crazy amalgams of other heroes. So the plot of this issue gets definitely a passing grade for me. It's everything I want from a first issue, especially of a limited series. It has all the hooks, it tied me in, and you can bet I'm here for good at this point because that was fantastic. It was a lot of fun, it was fast-paced, it threw us in, I liked all those things, especially because it's a character who really doesn't get the spotlight he deserves, and I'm so happy that someone like Rosenberg, who has a love for these characters, a true love for these characters that he's already proven that he has through things like the New Mutants mini, which is also so good, and I'm so glad that this character is being put in his hands, and I'm very excited of where we're going to go with it. It's also worth a mention that this Beast, this Hank McCoy, is the best he's been written in forever, for so long. Beast used to be one of my very favorites, and in recent years he's just really plummeted for me, and it just goes to show Rosenberg writes a damn good character, and he's bringing Beast back to a place that I like him at, and that's an achievement by itself. I do want to move into the art to talk about the art. I think it's fabulous. I think it's some of the best art on any X book right now. It's a bit weird looking at Jamie. He's illustrated to look very young here. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm also so used to the X Factor investigation era, with Jamie looking older and more mature. He does look kind of tiny and baby-faced in this, which was a little bit weird at first, but all in all, I can't complain about this art. I love it. Like I said, I think it's one of the stronger out of any X book right now, and I'm really excited to see where we go with this as far as visual storytelling goes. On the topic of the art and the way the characters look, we have to talk about Ileana in a Susie and the Banshee shirt. Just fabulous, just fantastic. What a great idea. It just was such a nice Easter egg and such a little love letter to our little gothy princess. And oh my god, I'm so sorry, how could I forget to talk about the best line in this whole book? So Ileana is fighting the Cloak Sorcerer Supreme Amalgam Jamie, and they're going toe-to-toe with their magic, and he literally says, "Cute lightsaber Darth Malgoth," and I just fucking died. Like, that is the best thing. I love it. So one more thing about the art, how I was saying that Jamie looks a little bit younger, it's also worth mentioning the absence of the M, the branding on his face. It was interesting to see in the end when the other Jamies barge in and attack the X-Men, some of them had the M and some of them didn't, and I'm wondering what the significance of that could be, and you know, where we're going to see Jamie end up in, and are these multiple futures, or is this just one alternate reality that we're seeing? It'll be interesting to find out. All in all, you guys, I think it's safe to say I really like this book. I think it's a great start to something that could prove to be very, very special and dear to our hearts. Should you go buy one? Absolutely. Should you go buy multiple copies? Yeah, you probably should. It's called Multiple Man. Get multiple copies. Buy the variants. The variants are so cool. Just whatever you do, go show up with your dollar bills. Show Marvel that we care about these little guys, that we care about these underdogs, because Jamie Madrox is just one of many mutants that have so much potential for great stories, and they just don't get the spotlight they deserve over at Marvel. So when you get a book like this that comes along, we gotta be there, we gotta show up, we gotta pay for it and show them that we like it, we care, and that we want more. So I don't know what you're waiting for. Go pick up this, well actually, wait, don't pick up this book yet. Hit like, hit thumbs up for me, subscribe to my channel for more content, and then go read Multiple Man. Sound good? Alright, cool. Thank you guys so much for showing up. This is the Mutant Agenda. I'm Cody Jason, and until next time, Dupe was right.